Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm conducting a HCMC stock update. Big news dropped from the court case last night. HCMC responded to Philip Morris and basically told them where to go in the legal jargon that you would expect. We're going to go through this, we're going to take it step by step, we're going to read the full document, then I'm going to give you my opinion on the way and sum up nicely at the end. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please smash that like button on the way in and consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. Catch you in there. Hey guys, welcome into the video. So as with all HCMC stock update videos, I like to land on their page on Yahoo Finance first. So here we can see the stock price has been barcoding at 0.0015 for the last day. The news didn't have much chance to go ahead basically, and then we've got a little drop in the share price and a spike that happened yesterday up to 1.6. A lot of people were amazed that it actually moved for a start. So we're going to go into the document. Market cap hasn't changed, nothing fundamentally has changed. This is just a reaction to the court case news. Nothing has happened yet to the share price, and the first thing that we're going to look at is the actual document itself. Now it is full of legal jargon, as you would usually expect for these court cases, but I've been through it and I've highlighted some pretty key points that I like to make. So HCMC responded in pretty fine style, it has to be said, that they want the court to conclude that the motion to dismiss should be denied. That is fairly obvious, and that the reason for that is that it misses the mark for several reasons, and this mainly harks back to the bombshell document we read the other day, in that the defendants themselves submitted to the FDA at best to show that IQOS tobacco heating system is 97% combustion free. Therefore, in its initial statement right there, admitting that some combustion occurs, but they're saying to dismiss this motion that combustion does not occur, but it actually does. So they submitted information to the FDA essentially asserting and wanting the FDA to prove that IQOS system was combustion free, whereas the FDA merely concluded that the defendant's data showed that combustion does not occur, but that data came from Philip Morris themselves. So the FDA's statement essentially doesn't prove the 97% combustion free statement, but nor does it establish the non-infringement of the patent. So it is completely irrelevant to dismiss the case at this stage. It clearly raises, the motion clearly raises a dispute as to the meaning of the word combustion. Now this is the key thing. Specifically, the defendant's reliance on the FDA scientific review is misplaced and irrelevant because it is permissible to conflate the FDA's use of the word combustion, because they didn't know that it was going to be used in this court case. Now Philip Morris have tried to go around this in all sorts of different ways and calling combustion by different names itself. That simply doesn't work. They admitted themselves 97% combustion free, but then therefore there was 3% combustion, right? So this is where the court case is going to get really ham into it, because the term and the meaning of the word combustion and what the threshold is for combustion is going to be the big thing and what is going to ultimately decide this court case. Now the FDA's approval of the defendant's IQOS system was supposed to be a heat not burn device, but this does not answer the question of the small amount of combustion. Specifically, the defendants infringed directly or indirectly by loading combustible material into the material reservoir, therefore initiating some sort of combustion in the reaction in the combustible material reservoir. So therefore, if that's what it's called, and combustible material is going in it, and it only burns 97% combustion free, then there's 3% combustion taking place. So the defendant's claim fails because post-suit knowledge is sufficient to assert inducement of a pleading stage. Now the facts from this case: Philip Morris submitted a modified risk tobacco product application to the MRTPA for the IQOS system to the FDA, but neither in that scientific review did they state that combustion cannot or does not occur. The applicant, Philip Morris, requested the FDA to confirm this, but the FDA basically refused, and they only confirmed based on the information that they were provided with, which was tainted because that information came from Philip Morris. It's not the FDA's job to rule on what is or what isn't combustion and what is and isn't involved in a patent. So Philip Morris tried to go through the back door to get the FDA to make a claim that they simply weren't going to do. They received approval for their product and essentially started to market it, offer it for sale and sell it across the United States because they received approval to do so. This does not mean that they didn't infringe on the patent, however. Specifically, the defendant's manufacture, use, sale, offer for sale or the importation of the IQOS system in combination with the heat sticks directly infringes the 170 patent, which is what HCMC is claiming. Specifically, the defendants advertise and promote the system and give instructions for use, potential and actual purchases of the system, and demonstrate defendants induce and contribute to the infringement even further. So lots of legal text here. I can't go through everything. I've just highlighted the key things. With respect to the patent infringement, proving the infringement requires the patentee to demonstrate that the IQOS system meets each claim limitation literally or under the doctrine of equivalence, determine the meaning and the scope of the patent claims. Now that hasn't happened because we can see that some sort of combustion occurs. The defendant's motion hinges entirely on the allegation that HCMC fails to allege a plausible claim for the infringement because combustion cannot and does not occur. This is factually incorrect as stated, because the claim made themselves, it was 97% combustion 3, so A, there's 3% combustion. Healthier Choices plausibly states that the claim for direct and indirect infringement either literally under the doctrine of equivalence, and secondary, the defendant's premature claim constructs are neither supported by the defendant's statements in the MRTPA, which is what I just said, and therefore these statements are irrelevant, so therefore the motion to dismiss cannot stand. Healthier Choices sufficiently alleges combustion can and does occur, which is absolutely right, and what we have seen so far and what we have seen in other patents that Philip Morris themselves have used over in Japan and the European Union. HCMC alleges that the defendant sought and received approval to import, distribute, market, offer for sale and instruct customers how to use the IQOS system. They are 100% doing that, and they've generated massive revenue off doing so. And they tried to get the FDA involved as essentially a way to make this patent infringement go away and give them some evidence. That hasn't worked. At the most, the defendant's assertions amount to mere allegation that combustion is improbable. And improbable though it might be, of course it is, it might be improbable. 97% of things not happening is fine, but there's still that 3% that combustion is happening, so therefore improbable it is, combustion still happens. So that is what HCMC is relying on here. HCMC identifies a plausible interpretation of combustion and thus the plausible claim of its infringement. If it can be proved that combustion, no matter how small, takes place, then this patent infringement stands. That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. The defendant's motion to dismiss fails to identify how or why combustion is improbable, let alone implausible and impossible, which we've all seen some combustion now clearly takes place. They've tried to get around it in terms of the language that they use, but they simply can't get around it. The secondary objective of the defendant's MRTPA was to confirm the absence of combustion, but the FDA only found that the defendant's submission that combustion does not occur. However, that was data provided by Philip Morris themselves, not independent information. The defendants have used and continue to manufacture and sell the product and are continuing to make an awful lot of money. The defendants essentially have damaged Healthier Choices. They've damaged their revenue by keeping all of that product for themselves and all the royalties for doing so. HCMC's pleadings demonstrate plausible assertions of the infringement and provide adequate notice to the defendants. Healthier Choices complaint identifies the defendant's actions relating to the development of the IQOS system were done for the benefit of Philip Morris themselves. They're making an awful lot of money, so of course it was for their benefit. Their continued use of the product and selling of the product is also further damaging HCMC. Regardless, the defendants appear to be confused between dismissal and damages, where the plaintiff is entitled to pre-suit relief is damages issue rather than related to sufficiency of the allegations compliant. So they seem to be trying to get it dismissed, but then at the same time they're going to be wanting to pay damages before it goes to a full court case. If the discovery reveals that defendants had noticed that their IQOS system infringes the 170 pattern prior to the November the 30th, then HCMC will be entitled to damages based on the indirect infringement prior to the 30th of November. Philip Morris have continued selling this product since, so HCMC will also be able to claim for royalties and damages after that date to the present day. Indeed, no court has constituted the claims of the 170 patent. Healthier Choices clearly disputes the construction of the terms combustion, which is absolutely right, and the contention that the IQOS system does not initiate combustion reaction as defined by the FDA because the evidence was skewed by Philip Morris. So that FDA evidence does not stack up at all. And then it goes on to say that the court should not use the word combustion in the right terms. They should think very carefully about doing that. And then we get down to what happens if the court finds in favour of Philip Morris. Basically, HCMC requests the right to readjust its patent claim to come back to essentially appeal the process and come back to the court if the court dismisses the case, which I think is highly unlikely. And then at the end here we just have a quick conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, Healthier Choices respectfully request that the court deny the defendant's motion to dismiss, and that if they do dismiss, that HCMC be given time to come back to the court. And then basically, oops-a-daisy, that is all wrapped up in this little statement here from Mustafa on Reddit not so long ago. Putting this here in case people don't want to read all the pages of the document, we've just gone through that. Basically, HCMC's lawyers are saying that the PM's motion dismiss because the patent's word is not word for word. The truth is that the patents are synonymous with the vocabulary, and that is what essentially Philip Morris is relying on, but that isn't going to stack up in my opinion. There are some escape hatches for Philip Morris essentially, and they could just ultimately settle this out of court, which is what everybody is hoping for. And that is the HCMC stock update complete, guys. Lot of legal jargon there, lot of information, but basically HCMC is telling Philip Morris where to go. The patent still stands. They've not come up with enough substantive evidence for the infringement case to be dismissed, in their opinion, and in my opinion as well. The fact that 97% combustion is admitted by Philip Morris, that means that there is 3% combustion, and it's as simple as that. In long legal terms, some combustion might take place, and the term combustion needs clearly defining. Philip Morris have tried their best to get around that, but that isn't going to work out, and I don't think that will stand. And me personally, I think this motion to dismiss will get dismissed by the court, and then we're into the proper court case and we can really start to make some progress. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. Absolute pleasure to bring you this information as always. If you could smash that like button on your way out, that would be absolutely amazing, and I'll catch you in another episode. See you later.